Hello friends and welcome to Picture Astrology. In this series of planets through various houses, today we will talk about the placement of Saturn in the 12th house for a Capricorn Ascendant. And when the Ascendant is Capricorn, Saturn will be placed in the sign of Sagittarius in the 12th house. And we will learn more about this placement in next few minutes. So we have a Capricorn Ascendant horoscope, which means the sign of Capricorn, which is the 10th sign, is rising in the horoscope. And we know Capricorn and Aquarius, which are the 10th and 11th sign respectively, they both are lorded by the planet Saturn. So therefore, this placement of Saturn in the 12th house of Sagittarius sign will become very critical, because ascendant is a point which pretty much determines your life. It determines who you are. You can see my video about who am I, or try to find who the real person is from the horoscope, and ascendant is one of the key points in that. So this placement of Saturn, because of the lordship of ascendant point, will not only affect the first house, because we have Capricorn here. It will affect second house because we have Aquarius sign here, and Saturn also has some special aspects. Saturn will aspect third house from its position, which will be the second house. Saturn will aspect seventh house directly, which is the sixth house. And Saturn will also aspect the 10th house from its position, which is the all-important 9th house. So not only these houses where Saturn is the owner or is placed or is aspecting will be impacted, but your overall life is also going to depend a lot upon this position of Saturn by virtue of this being ascendant lord. So in next few minutes we are going to see all these areas and how this Saturn behaves. So for the quick reference, I have listed all the houses and their high level significations right here, and all of these in some way will be affected by this Saturn here, and we will try to learn or cover each of them. And let's begin with the all important first house, which shows your physical and mental personality, and at the same time your general outlook towards life. Now, whenever the Lord of Ascendant goes into the 12th, especially a Saturn-like planet, which is very slow and very steady, then this placement teaches one big lesson to the person, and that is long-term plan. See, 12th house is a house of long-term planning. It is not a house which can give you quick results. Anything which can be obtained overnight is not the domain of 12th house. 12th house is actually signifying something like a slow process of planting a seed. You plant a seed inside the earth, which is invisible to you. You take care of that seed. You give water, you give fresh air, you let the sunlight shine upon it, and slowly and steadily these sprouts begin, and those sprouts turns into a big tree, and then you can get fruits out of it. I mean, this is what 12th house is. So whenever you have any planet in 12th house, especially when the Lord of Ascendant itself is there, then the key lesson is think strategic. Don't think for quick gains, and that will be applicable to any area which this Saturn touches. So for example, Saturn here looks at the second house, which shows your money or accumulated wealth. So you must think strategic. So when you have this placement, if you invest, in anything which promises you to give quick returns, then most likely that thing may not work. Now it depends on other planets in your horoscope as well, what's the position of Jupiter, Moon, Venus, etc. But this one placement, what this shows is to make or to accumulate a large amount of wealth, you can do it, especially since Saturn is aspecting the second house. Second house is house of money. The lord of that house is Saturn itself, and the aspect of Saturn here kind of shows that you can accumulate wealth. But that wealth, if the Saturn has to give you that wealth, then it will not be a quick return. It will be something which you strategically plan. You buy a share and then get return after 5-6 years. Those kind of results. It is not the position which shows that, okay, you buy a share today and then sell it tomorrow. That kind of result, at least this Saturn doesn't promise. What it promises is, it promises something like simple investment plan or SIP. You keep buying stocks or mutual funds or bonds on a periodic basis, slowly, little at a time, every month on month, and in 5-6 years, you see, you have a good amount of wealth accumulated with you. So that's the kind of investment, that's the kind of business, that's the kind of work which this Saturn supports. So this basically means you have to be patient. You have to be patient with your money. You have to be patient with your family. Second house is house of your family. You have to give them time, because if you don't, if you try and go for say quick fix or quick returns, this Saturn has an aspect on the 6th house. 6th house is the house of debt. It can get you in some debt. However, if you follow the rule of Saturn, which is slow and steady, which means follow discipline, remain in discipline, then this Saturn can help you not only accumulate wealth over a period of time, but many times you can pay back the debts, not of yourself, but even your family debts. This Saturn has an aspect on the 9th house. Now, I'm not going to explain the complete astrological logic for this, but because of the simultaneous aspect of Saturn on the 9th house, which shows your ancestors or your family in general, and simultaneously on the 6th house, this Saturn can help you pay back debts of your family also. But again, the key thing is long-term strategic plan, because if you are not careful, then it can put you into debt and some kind of legal trouble as well. 6th house is the house of legal troubles. So this placement of Saturn suggests that you be careful with those as well. Now let's quickly talk about the 12th house affairs. So one of the things with 12th house is it shows your expenses, and money expenditure we have already talked about when we were dealing with the second house things. It also shows the house of spirituality and at the same time sexual pleasures. Now why? Because both of these things take you away from the normal life. So 12th house is a house which takes you away. It in many ways also shows extraterrestrial life. So there are two caveats. One, in Eastern cultures, people who have this placement, they tend to run around healers unnecessarily. They somehow believe in healing capacity more than they should and spend a lot of money on them, and that is not right. There is definitely supernatural powers, but there has to be a limit. You should not get fooled by people who fake those powers, and this is one of the weak spots for people with this placement. You must be careful in choosing your spiritual guru. And at the same time, when it comes to marriage and related affairs, you should also exert caution and restraint. Just like that long-term planning, think twice before you commit to anything. So I know I've not covered each and every item from this list, but I guess the video is enough long right now. If you have any specific questions related to any of these areas, please don't hesitate to put in comments. I hope you liked this video and explanation. Please do like and subscribe to my channel to continue to receive more such videos. Thank you for watching so far. Have a wonderful life ahead and see you again soon.